My name is Lakeisha Grant. I am an account manager here at Mortgage Coach and the Success Team. As a mortgage professional, our goal is always to effectively communicate finance options with our borrowers and realtor partners. Well, with Mortgage Coach, you can definitely exceed that goal. Stay in contact with your past clients, your current clients, and even your future clients. With an annual mortgage review, you will be able to use it as one of our strategies that will answer that probing question with those borrowers that you come in contact with. They're asking, should I refinance now or should I wait? Well, with an annual mortgage review strategy, you will be able to show them their financing options and being able to refinance into a new 30, 15, or 20-year loan. You can show your clients how they can reinvest some of their cash out back into the principal, short-term, or long-term savings account. You can even prove to your borrowers refinancing benefits. And as the end of the year approaches, let's be proactive. Reach out to each and every prospective refinance borrower that we come in contact with and provide them with that annual mortgage review. Go ahead and provide that value. Maximize your exposure. Use that to be able to create your farming pipeline and be able to provide that advice and deliver value to your refinance customers. If you have any questions during this call, go ahead and put your questions in the question box. We will be sure to answer those as we continue forward with the training. What we're going to do today is talk just about that, how to be able to leverage your business, maximize your exposure, and be able to connect with some refinance borrowers by creating an annual mortgage review. I'm not going to go too much into the building process step by step, but what I will do is point out several different things to you so that you will be able to go ahead and effectively communicate those finance options, create that total cost analysis within a 2 to 5 minutes, and then be able to explain the report. What you're looking at on your screen now is just that. It's that total cost analysis. It's broken down into 4 different quadrants. Let's talk about those quadrants for a second here. When you're getting ready to deliver your advice to your borrower, we're going to start with that summary section. That's our gray section here. What that does is it gives you a complete overview. It's showing your borrowers their loan amount, the interest rate, APR, term, payment, your cash to close, monthly savings, your short-term savings, which is that savings over 60 months, and then their freedom point, when they're going to be done with paying off this loan. Within the summary section as well, you also have payment notes where you're able to show your borrower and explain to them whether or not taxes and insurance is included in their monthly payment. You also have payment streams. So if you've built in mortgage insurance, this is a good way for you to be able to see how your mortgage insurance is going to decline with the payments and when it's going to cut off. On that More Info button, you can get more in detail with your borrower. Go ahead and show them a payment breakdown. Show them the price or value of their particular property, the P&I payment, the property taxes, the hazard insurance, if they have mortgage insurance, what that payment is, HOA payments, and any other payments that may be associated to bring up that total PITI payment. And then on the closing cost tab, you're able to show your borrowers their down payment and equity, loan to value, total APR costs, their non-APR costs, points, upfront PMI, their prepaids, contributions, and then their cash to close or cash out that they'll be receiving if you're building out a refinance with cash out. If your borrower wants a more itemized list of what their closing costs entails, they can click on that fee details button and they will be able to see that itemized list of the closing costs, know who's paying for what of that closing cost, what of that closing cost is considered APR, what of those fees is prepaid escrows, and what of those fees is being financed into the loan. As you move on to the next tab is that reinvestment strategy. This is where you can go ahead and show your borrowers how they can reinvest back into the principal by showing them ways to take a reduction payment on a monthly basis to reduce their freedom point less than 30 years. Or in that accumulation section there, show your borrowers how they can reinvest on a monthly basis into a short-term savings account. In the investment balance section, show your borrowers how they can reinvest with a higher rate of return and maybe put a monthly payment in to invest at a long term like an IRA or 401k even. And then you can get even more savvy with it. Show your borrowers how they can take the money from any of these categories and reinvest it back into the principal to reduce that freedom point down even more. Just by clicking on that payoff reinvestment button here down at the bottom in your analysis summary, you can show your borrowers how they can take that money and then again reduce their freedom point. As we move on to the monthly savings section, which is our blue graph section here, this is where you're showing your borrowers their immediate impact. You're being able to show them their savings options compared to their current mortgage. Coming into that more info button, you're able to show them again those loan amounts, interest rates, APR, term, months, mortgage insurance for that total PITI payment. You're able to show them property appreciation rate if you built that out, and even tax benefits. As we come down to our short-term savings, which is our savings over 60 months. Remember, guys, you have the option of being able to tailor this section and the long-term savings to be able to show what's most important to your borrower. So in this savings section here, this is where you're showing your borrower money or savings on the money that they're not going to recover. So by clicking on that more info button, you can show your borrowers their interest and MI paid for each individual product that you built out, the closing costs for those products, and then being able to total out the total cost to show them which one has the highest net savings. And then when we come straight over to our long-term savings here, this is the interest in MI section, or the total net worth, or even the total principal paid. But this is where you can separate yourself apart. You've already showed them their complete overview, their immediate impact, their short-term impact. Now let's talk about that long-term impact. When you click on that more info button, you're able to show your borrowers their home value at that yearly period based off of the property appreciation rate that you've built into the system. You're able to show them their loan balance at that yearly period, their equity, how much total principal payments have they made, how much total PITI payments have they made, and then again showing them that total interest in MI. So again, you guys are separating yourself apart. You're being able to be that trusted advisor, showing your borrower why they should come to you with all of their financial decisions. Now remember, the report is live and interactive. So as you were seeing, I was actually highlighting fields here on the report, and you can do so as well while you're having a conversation with your borrower. You can have that live conversation, be able to deliver this advice in real time. No matter if you're at your office, your borrower might be home or at the grocery store, your borrower might call you and say, I cannot find the interest rate on this report. After you've sent out that link, the borrower has the option of opening your report that you send out on any device, whether it be a mobile device, Android or iPhone, whether it be their iPads, their tablets, laptops, desktops, you name it. They can open your link from their email. When they click on the link, you then can also too go into the report and view the report on your end with them, and you can make highlights. Highlighting a field is going to automatically shift pages over for your borrower, where they too will be able to have that their live real-time experience. So if you guys haven't experienced Edge Live, I encourage you to do so. Download the Mortgage Coach apps today. We do have the Mortgage Coach Viewer and also the Rate Watch app available. One of our training classes was covering Edge Live and being able to show some audio, video, and even scripting. So if you guys missed that class, send us an email over at support@mortgagecoach.com. We'll be sure to get you the recording. Or if you need more information on Edge Live or recordings, go ahead again. Send us an email, support@mortgagecoach.com. We'll make sure that we answer any questions. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into Edge, and we're going to talk about building out this report. Now just remember, guys, the home page is separated in two different sections here. So this top section is what we like to refer to as our customer-facing section. This is where we house all of those reports we build for our clients. Those annual mortgage reviews, those finance options, price points, rate versus own scenarios. They're all housed in this top section. This bottom section is where we house all of our partner-facing reports, those seller buy-downs, open house presentations, and even those finance flyers that we build out. They're all housed in this bottom section. So we're going to go ahead and just review this annual mortgage review that we built out for our refinance client. And I'm going to go ahead and double click on the report that I've already built out, and we're going to go on and talk about it. So as we come into Edge, we're brought right to our client screen. Notice that you do have some red and black fields. The red fields provide direction to Edge. The black fields provide supporting direction. So just remember, it's not always imperative that you fill out each and every black field, but there will be some times where you need to fill out black fields just to support the direction that you're moving in. Main field on here is going to be your first name. By putting in the first name on the client screen, it will start to save any information that you put in on the report. So remember, if you put nothing in the first name field on the client's tab, your report will not start to save. One another field that I want to go ahead and point out on this page that's most important is our friendly name field. The friendly name field helps you distinguish the difference between the types of reports that you're building. So maybe you have a borrower, Bob, and Bob comes to you and he says, I need to know what my options would be if I was to purchase conventional 5% down versus 10% down. So you build out that finance option for him. He comes back to you and he says, you know what? I know that I want to go ahead with that conventional 5% down, but I just don't know if I want to do price points. I don't know if I want to go $300,000 versus $350,000. Well, by utilizing this friendly name field here, you guys can distinguish the difference between the reports that you've built out for Bob. So maybe one, you want to call it finance options. The next one, you want to call it price points. And then after Bob has already purchased his home, he comes back and he's ready to refinance, you're going to call that one annual mortgage review or refinance. Be creative, guys. Use your own names so that you can be able to distinguish the difference in the reports that you're actually building out. I'm going to go ahead and advance right forward to our Goals tab. Just remember, on the Goals tab, the only one that applies to a purchase would be purchase a new home. All these other fields are related to refinance. So when you're ready to build out that refinance transaction, go ahead and click on any of the fields except purchase a new home. I'm going to go ahead and move right forward. We'll come to the Assumptions tab, where we're going to go ahead and put in our property value. This is the current property value for your client. Advance right forward to our second page in the Assumptions tab, where we're going to put in some information about our borrower's current mortgage. Now just remember, you do have a lot of red fields on this page. However, you can still put the minimum amount of information to be able to create an effective report and still be able to create that report rather quickly. Main things you want to create, main things that you want to go ahead and fill in is going to be your remaining balance and then that interest rate, so that you can then go ahead and calculate a payment in addition to putting in your term for the loan. If you don't know their original loan amount or you don't know their first payment date, that's perfectly fine. Just put in the minimum amount of information and advance right forward. Once we go ahead and advance forward, we're then brought to our monthly cost screen, where you put in the monthly cost about that current mortgage payment. Again, put in as much information as you possibly have so that you can go ahead and effectively make a report for your borrower. Moving right forward to that Affordability tab, this is where you can go ahead and leverage conversation, build that relationship with your borrower, get an idea of what they can and cannot afford, what they would like to spend, how much money do they have in their savings account, and then show them how you can build out some tax benefits for them. But as you notice, I don't have any of this information filled out on this page. And that's because it's not going to change out my report in any kind of way. It's just going to help me to build out an effective report and be able to show me some different things, like my debt to income ratio. But again, it's not imperative that you fill this page out, so you can skip this tab altogether and move straight forward to your Products tab. Now when you move to your Products tab, this is where you want to go ahead and start showing your borrower what you can do for them. You've already gathered their information with the clients, the goal, the assumption, and the affordabilities tab. Now in the products and the analysis, let's start to show our borrower what we can do for them. You're going to go ahead and put in your product name. Just remember that there's a 12-character minimum. So you want to put that product name specific. Whatever you put in this particular field will show on your report. So you want to make sure it's something that your borrower can understand what it is that you're showing to them and not get confused. When you're building out your refinance, don't worry about that current mortgage. Just go ahead and click that yes. This is a refinance. By clicking over the yes, it will automatically bring over your property value. It will pull in your base loan amount that you put in on your Assumptions tab and then show your equity. At that point, you can go ahead and put in your interest rate and your term for your product. And just remember, if you're building an FHA refinance, you want to go ahead and select yes, that this is an FHA. Advancing right forward, you're then brought to your closing cost screen, where you're going to go ahead and put in your closing costs that's associated with this refinance. Clicking on your closing cost details allows you to be able to go ahead and pull from fee templates that you might have built out, or even allows you to be able to add in fees or add in custom fees to be able to show an itemized list of all the closing costs associated. This is where you can also go ahead and make sure, this is where you can also go ahead and put in any type of fees and then save that template so that you can use it for later on. But once you have all of your fees in place, go ahead and apply to loan. And then you can put in your prepaid interest, move right forward to your monthly cost screen where you put in the monthly cost that's associated with this new refinance, whether there's an HOA. You put it in your hazard, property tax information. If there would be mortgage insurance based off of the loan to value, you would put that information in. You would put in your hazard reserves, your tax reserves. You don't necessarily have to collect the 12-month premium unless your borrower is getting a new insurance company or their insurance is already lapsed. Go ahead and advancing right forward, you now have brought back to that product screen because now we're going to enter in yet another product to be able to compare to. When you come to that second product screen, you can use your copy from feature. You can copy the information over from a previous product that you've already built out. And what this will do is help your process be a lot quicker so that you can go ahead and show your borrowers some new options of being able to compare to. Now only thing you have to do is just make some minor adjustments. So since we've copied over the information, automatically told the system that yes, this is a refinance, brought over a property value or equity-based loan amount, interest rate, and a term. Now, because this is a 20-year loan that we're building, we need to go ahead and change that interest rate. So let's just say our interest rate on our new product may be 4.25% for a 20-year loan, and then we're going to go ahead and change out our term. We're done with building that first product. We can advance right forward. Our closing costs automatically brought over for us since we used our copy feature. Our monthly costs brought over for us as well. And now you can go ahead and build yet another product. I'm going to go ahead and skip right forward to our third product, which is our 15-year product that we built out. Again, you use your copy from feature, make your minor adjustments to your rate and term, go ahead and move right forward to your closing costs, make any adjustments as needed, move right forward to your monthly costs and make any adjustments as needed. And I just want to point out down to the bottom you have an Add Product button. So anytime you have the option of being able to add yet another product, you'll see that green Add Product button. You have the option of adding up to 4 different products to compare to. I'm going to go ahead and advance right forward to our analysis summary screen. This is where you start to tailor the report to show what's most important to your borrower. So you can change out the property appreciation rate percentage according to your market area. You can change the short-term analysis in months, your long-term analysis in years, and then here on your benchmarks on a refinance, you want to go ahead and select current. The benchmarks are always set to show the highest default. So by selecting current, you're then being able to compare those new products that you've built out to the current mortgage. Coming right down, you're showing your short-term analysis, and then you're also showing your long-term analysis. And this is where you can use those radio buttons to go ahead and change what it is that you want to show your borrower. You can show them that total net worth, that total principal paid, that total interest in MI. So this is where you want to go ahead and say, and be very strategic about what it is that you're showing to your borrower. If you know that they don't have any MI on this new product, maybe you don't want to show that total interest in MI paid. On that total net worth, you want to go ahead and show them, if you were to go maybe to that new 20-year or to that new 15-year loan, this is how much net worth you have versus staying with that current 30-year loan. Even that total principal paid, this is where you're showing your borrowers, if you were to stay with that current loan, you've only paid $77,000 some odd $1,000 into that principal. However, going into a new 20 and a 15-year, you're going to be able to pay a little bit more into the principal. And again, it's up to you how you want to tailor this report to be able to show what's most important, because at this point, just remember, your long-term analysis, you have it set at 15 years. So of course, your 15-year is going to show a little bit more principal paid, of course, because you would have paid the loan off in that 15-year period. So if your borrower says, you know what, I want to be able to see what's going to happen long term, only 10 years, because I don't plan on staying in this house no more than 10 years. Go ahead and change that to 10 years, and then you still be able to show them either that total interest in MI, that total net worth, the total principal paid over that yearly period that you've selected. So you can go ahead and strategize to show what is most important with your borrower. I'm going to go ahead and advance right forward to our contact screen. And here on the contact screen, you want to capture your borrower's contact information, because as all of you know, there is a notification feature built into the system where you will be notified when your report has been viewed. Well, you can receive that notification email, or if you have RateWatch downloaded onto your mobile device, you'll receive it on your mobile. And even if you don't have RateWatch downloaded on your mobile device, you'll still receive your Edge Alert in RateWatch. But the good thing is that by receiving that notification feature, you're able to quickly get back in contact with your borrower. Now, if you don't want to wait to get back to your office, maybe you have their contact information in your Rolodex or in your contact information or somewhere on your laptop or desktop, or even written down on a yellow sticky notepad, put in their contact information here on this contact screen, and it will automatically show on that alert notification. So you'll be able to see exactly what it is that you're showing to your borrower and be able to contact them right away. I'm going to go ahead and advance right forward to our first presentation page, where you get to select the type of presentation you're going to show to your borrower. You have the option of showing them that total cost analysis, sell or buy down, amortization schedule, and even Fannie Mae export. Just remember, if you decide that you don't want to show a particular product on your report, you can simply uncheck that product and it won't show on the report. I'm going to go ahead and leave all of our products selected, and then I'm going to move right down to my payment notes section, where this is a good compliance piece. This is where I showed you where it showed on the final report with that double asterisk. It's showing your borrower that payment note information, that taxes and insurance is included in that estimated payment. Now you've completed your report and you want to quickly go ahead and send out this report to a borrower. You want to quickly be able to navigate to the system and not go through those summary screens. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the presentation page, or presentation tab, excuse me. Anytime there's multiple pages associated within a tab, you'll get those multiple jump buttons. You can quickly go ahead and jump to that particular page you want to go to, which in this case would be our preview. So I'm going to click on our preview jump button. It's going to take me right to our final presentation tab, where you always have the option of saving the report as a PDF, printing it, or emailing that link out. You want to make sure you do email that link out, even if you decide to print or save as a PDF as well. But you want to make sure you email the link so you're notified when your borrower has viewed your report. Put in your quote date for today's date so you can remind yourself and your borrower when your report was created. And then go ahead and generate your link so that you can then go ahead and copy and paste that personalized link and send it off in a separate email to your borrower. Then you can go ahead, and if you decide to add some audio video, you can add audio video. Maybe you want to explain this particular report to your borrower. Maybe you want to show them some additional information, share some additional information, ask them for additional tips or anything like that, or just be able to communicate with them. Use that audio video button. Click on that record message button and go ahead and record a message and send it right off with your report, and your borrower will be able to experience anything that you may have had to offer them with showing them this total cost analysis and being able to show them their different finance options. I do see that we have a couple questions that have come into the question box, and one of the questions was, is this for the product name, is it a 12-character minimum or maxed? I see that this question may have been answered, but I just want to go ahead and clarify to everyone on the product name, it is a 12-character max. And the next question is, what does current mortgage button do? Okay, the current mortgage button, if you were to pull over, I'm going to go back into our products tab. Let's go to our 30-year mortgage. Now let's just say you were to go ahead and click on that current mortgage button. What it does is it brings over all the current mortgage information, and then all you have to do is just make your adjustments. So you can put in your remaining balance here. You can put in your loan amount. The main thing that it does, though, is it pulls over the the monthly cost information for you. So it's not really a need for you to be able to select that current mortgage, because you would then have to go back and tell the system that yes, this is a refinance. And once you say that yes, this is a refinance, it automatically unchecks that current mortgage box. So just to make life a little simpler for you, just go ahead and always check yes, this is a refi. It automatically is going to bring over your equity-based loan amount, but you do have to go ahead and put in your monthly cost information. Okay, I did have another question that says, is it possible to delete a product? So you can't actually delete a product after you've already built them out, but on your presentation page, you can unselect a product if you decide that you don't want a particular product to show on your report. So simply uncheck that particular product, advance forward, and then when you go right back to your particular scenario that you've built out, notice that those products are no longer showing on your report. So if you decide, again, that you do not want to show any particular products, you can go ahead and uncheck those and they will not show on your final report. Now, one quick thing, though, if you do decide, you know what, I built out 4 different products and I don't want to compare all those different products, let me start over. To be able to start over is quite easy. You can go to your analysis tab there and you can click on that copy analysis button. By clicking on that, it will bring over some of the information for you. But if you don't want to create those same if you do want to create those same products again, you can click that copy. If you decide I don't want those products to exist anymore at all, going back to your home page, clicking on your View All button will bring up a search criteria box. You can search for that particular client or just hit your search button. It will bring open all the reports that you've created. You can then go ahead and search for that particular borrower, and then you can go ahead and you can add an analysis to that borrower and then just click on the Yes button. Once you do that, it will bring you right back to your Clients tab. Notice that it brought over all your borrower's information, but your Products tab is empty. So at this point, you can go ahead and start building this report all over again, and then you can go ahead and change up the products or show something different if you decide to do so. It's another good way to be able to build out on the portfolio that you're building for a particular borrower. And just remember to utilize that friendly name field so that you can distinguish the difference between the reports that you've created. Now, if you do decide that you don't want an analysis to exist at all, you can go into that search criteria box again, hit your search button. Let's just say that we want to delete a particular analysis for that particular borrower. Click on that analysis that you want to delete, hit the delete button, and it will automatically delete that analysis, and that analysis will no longer exist under that borrower. So again, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and submit them in the chat box. We do have a couple minutes before the call ends. If you don't have any other questions now, or maybe you think of some later, don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@mortgagecoach.com. We're definitely here to help you to exceed your success together. We want to help you build that success, maximize your exposure, again, and be able to help you guys to use a lot of these different tools and strategies in your everyday way of doing business. So we will continue with our winter workshop going next week. We'll continue to provide some value to you guys and showing you different ways where Mortgage Coach can help you to maximize. Without further ado, I want to thank you guys for joining today's call. We will see you next week. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@mortgagecoach.com. Thanks everyone for joining today's call. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the rest of your day.